All right, today we're headed to the absolute heart of the Scottish Highlands. We're talking about a village that's basically the gateway to legends, mind-blowing engineering, and scenery so stunning it just doesn't feel real. So let's dive into Fort Augustus. You know, this quote right here, it pretty much nails the feeling you get. Is that sense of, wait, is this place even real? That's the kind of awe that just smacks you right in the face the second you get there. Okay, so let's talk about arriving here and what that's like. We're going to paint a picture for you. First time in this famous village, everything's got a little bit of snow on it. What's that first impression, you know? First off, location is just everything here. Fort Augustus is parked right at the scenic southwestern tip of the one and only Loch Ness. And that spot, it's not an accident. It's what makes it the perfect hub, the perfect home base for anyone who's looking to explore the loch and the whole Great Glen area. And get this, for a place that's so famous, it's actually a super small community. We're talking only about 650 people live here. So you've got this tiny, cozy village vibe, but it's set against this massive, epic landscape. And that contrast, that's a huge part of its charm. And, you know, that small population, they really thrive on tourism. It's the lifeblood of the village. And what's wild is that even in the dead of winter, when it's cold and snowy, this place is absolutely buzzing with energy. It's a year-round destination for sure, just packed with people exploring along the canal. So what's it really like when you first get there? Well, people say it's exactly like stepping into a postcard or maybe even a movie scene. You're just immediately surrounded by these incredible, stunning views of snow-capped mountains. Yeah, okay, the paths can get a little slippery in the winter, but trust me, the main feeling you walk away with is just, wow, this is absolutely beautiful. All right, now let's get to the real heart of the village. There's this incredible engineering marvel that literally slices right through the middle of town and it completely defines the place. We are, of course, talking about the Caledonian Canal. So, what is this thing exactly? Well, the Caledonian Canal is this massive, 60-mile-long canal for ships, built way back in the 19th century. I mean, it literally cuts a path straight across the Highlands. Its job was to connect the North Sea all the way to the Irish Sea, which saved ships from having to make that really long and, frankly, pretty dangerous trip around the coast of Scotland. And the coolest part is, right in the center of the village, you can just stand there and watch the main event. It's this staircase of 5 locks. So a boat will come in from Loch Ness at the bottom, the gate slams shut, and then whoosh, the chamber fills with water, lifting the boat up. Then the next gate's open, and it does it all over again, 5 times until it reaches the top. It's like watching a piece of living history right in front of your eyes. So cool. Okay, so the canal is amazing, but what else brings people here? Well, it's a pretty powerful combo. A whole lot of ancient history and, you guessed it, a world-famous monster. All right, let's just get to the monster in the loch, shall we? You can't possibly come to Fort Augustus and not ask the big question. So, what's the deal with Nessie? Okay, so while everyone's secretly hoping to spot Nessie, the whole area is just packed with other amazing things to do. You've got to take a cruise out on the loch, you get these incredible views of the old Urquhart Castle ruins from the water, or if you want to stay on solid ground, you can walk or even cycle a part of the Great Glen Way. There's also the historic Fort Augustus Abbey to explore, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, you can take a day trip to ride the Jacobite steam train, which you'll probably know better as the Hogwarts Express. And let's be real, you're not leaving without checking out at least one of the many, many Nessie-themed gift shops. You know, this village has some pretty serious history behind it too. It wasn't always this charming touristy spot. Way back in the 1720s, it was actually built as a military fort. The goal was to control the Highlands after these big rebellions called the Jacobite Risings. And fun fact, it was named after Prince William Augustus, the Duke of Cumberland, let's just say, a pretty controversial figure in that whole conflict. It took a long, long time for it to become the peaceful place that we know and love today. Okay, after all that monster hunting and exploring, you are going to be hungry. So let's get practical for a minute and talk about a very important topic. What's on the menu in Fort Augustus? So here's a little something that really shows you how a tourist town works. Let's talk about the classic fish and chips. Someone noticed you could get it for takeaway for £12.50. But if you wanted to sit down and eat it inside, almost £19. And the difference? Literally just a plate and some cutlery. It's just a funny little detail that gives you a real feel for how things are priced in a popular spot like this.
But honestly, for a village with just 650 people, the variety of food is kind of shocking. I mean, of course, you'll find your classic Scottish steak pie, but you can also grab pizza, gelato, and get this, even baklava. People have found amazing Chinese food there. And of course, it's Scotland, so you absolutely have to grab an iron brew. It's practically the law.
All right, let's wrap this all up. What's the bottom line? Why should Fort Augustus be on your must-visit list?
It really boils down to this totally unique mix of things you can't find anywhere else. You've got the raw, dramatic beauty of Loch Ness and those incredible mountains. You've got a 19th century engineering masterpiece that you can see working every day. And all of that is wrapped up in the legend of Nessie, plus the charm of a small, super busy Highland village. It is, without a doubt, the perfect base camp for exploring everything the region has to offer.
You know, sometimes the simplest reviews are the best. One visitor just put it perfectly. No fuss. It's well worth a visit. And honestly, what more do you need to know? And that's really the magic of Fort Augustus, isn't it? It just leaves you wondering. With this incredible mix of history, legend, and just jaw-dropping nature, the only real question left is, what will you discover when you get to the gateway of Loch Ness?